Hi guys, my name is Star, and today I wanted to talk about my experiences in the psych ward. This is another part of my psych ward experience video. Well, I made like the first part like 2 years ago. Excuse me, sorry. But I wanted to come here and talk about why I think psych ward should be completely illegal in the US. Or everywhere, really. I want to talk about why I think psych wards should be illegal and why none of them are ethical and why none of them help people. So let me get this shit started, but before I do, I just want to say a very big trigger warning for sexual assault, self-harm, abuse, legalized kidnapping, and mentions of being restrained or held down, that kind of thing. So yeah, this video is gonna be probably the most triggering videos I have ever made. So before I begin, I will probably have to explain what certain things mean. So the term legalized kidnapping was pretty much invented by victims of the troubled teen industry, such as myself. You may have heard of people like the Cash Me Outside girl even using it to describe her experiences in a psych ward. If you don't know who the Cash Me Outside girl is, which I don't know anyone who doesn't know who she is, but if you don't know who she is, she's the girl who said "Cash me outside, how about that?" on Dr. Phil. And she's one of the very first people who started advocating for a total ban on psych wards, which I really admire her for speaking her truth. And it inspired me to start speaking my truth when I first... Sorry, that was a piece of paper that fell. Yeah, that was a piece of paper. My bad. And my iPad is falling over, so I do apologize. Legalized kidnapping is a term described for when you are taken to either a psych ward or a abusive parents or a hospital against your own will. This mainly happens to children, but it can also happen to adults, like the 505, which is involuntary admission to a mental hospital, which in my opinion should never, ever, ever be forced on someone. In fact, I don't think that residential facilities help anyone, ever. Like, literally never. Every single person I've known who has been in a psychiatric ward got way worse by the time they got out. And by the time they got out, they came out with more trauma and more mental illnesses. More than they did going in. So legalized kidnapping is when people essentially come to your house and forcefully take you out of your home in order to put you back into another parent's house or a psych ward or a hospital or a rehab or juvenile or jail when you did nothing wrong, and when you, like, 9 times out of 10, the people involved are not a harm to themselves or others. Luckily, I never had the extreme degree of, like, being forcefully taken out of my house by police officers like most people have. I am very fortunate compared to most people. I've only ever been tricked into going into a psych ward by these people. But basically, in my, like, very, 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 like, experienced opinion, psych wards should be completely illegal. Like, I'm not gonna stop advocating for a total ban on psych wards until some state legislators, like, are gonna finally say, which I honestly doubt that any legislator is gonna take me seriously. But I'm not gonna stop until, like, everyone in the US, like, finally hears, like, how bad these places are and why they should be banned. Okay, so imagine you're being forced out of your home. That sucks. right? Like, that's basically what a psych ward is. They force you out of your home and they lock you up. They don't even try to help you. Sorry, my iPad keeps falling over. Can you stop? Okay. But like, yeah, imagine like being forcefully taken from your home and treated like a fucking criminal. And being locked up in a white room with white walls and being told that you're a bad person repeatedly. And being told that if you don't behave, you're gonna be locked up for longer. Imagine how traumatic that would be for you. Like, you wouldn't want that to happen to you, would you? Which is why I'm so against all psychiatric wards. All of them are the same abusive pieces of trash. Point blank, period. So you may have heard of other people who survived the troubled... Sorry, why does my iPad keep falling? You may have heard of other people who survived the troubled teen industry. Danielle Bergoli, when she went to the ranch that Dr. Phil sent her to, guess what? She was sexually assaulted there multiple times. And she was forcefully held down, even though they have lied and stated that they don't do anything forcefully. They have been known to lie. And unfortunately, that is not the only place that's done that. Literally every single psych ward lies to the parents. They lie to the patients. Like the psych ward I was at for a year, they kept lying to me about my discharge date. They would say like, oh, it's this month. And then they would be like, oh, actually, it's this other month. And they would also lie to other patients, not just me, but they lied to everyone else there. So as for like what I mean by I was abused in a psych ward, I've been held down multiple times against my will when I told these individual people to not sorry, I can't English, to not touch me at all. I specifically told them, I do not want my blood drawn. Do not fucking touch me. And guess what? They still did it, which is assault. Number one. Number two, they emotionally abused me by telling me that my problems were not valid and that I'm just a bad person. Number three, they never took any of my concerns about other people seriously. Like, there was one guy there that was threatening to rape everyone on the fucking unit. And guess what? They didn't take mine or anyone else's concerns seriously. And you know what happened a couple years after I left? 3 people were sexually assaulted at the mental hospital I was at. Yeah, 3 people were sexually assaulted there. I cannot say which hospital I was at because it could potentially dox not me, but people I care about. There are people I care about who still live in that area, so I don't want to dox them. And also I have family in that area that live near that hospital, and I know that you could easily find them if I say what hospital it was. So I am not gonna say the name of it. It was somewhere in Oregon though. And Oregon may be one of the most progressive states, but their mental health system is ass. Okay, it's like complete, total ass. It's like the worst healthcare system there. Not even kidding. The mental health system in Oregon is fucking broken. That's why I had to leave Oregon and move to Alaska, because yeah, Alaska's way less progressive, but this is the only state I can get the care I need at an affordable price, because Oregon has no coverage whatsoever. Like, it's fucking awful. I love Oregon. I loved living there, but I couldn't stay due to mental health reasons. And also, I had a lot of trauma happen there. So, would I ever visit Oregon again? Yeah, I probably would, because I have friends in Oregon still. Almost all of my friends are there. And I haven't been able to make friends anywhere else because in Alaska, people are more old-fashioned and I'm not. So I haven't been able to make that many friends here. And also there's less tolerance for LGBT people. Shockingly, there are no anti-trans or anti-gay bills here. Like, people are kind of that mentality where, like, if you don't like it, then mind your own business. And you can also easily, like, it's way easier to tell who's a bad person and who's a good person here than anywhere else, because I've noticed that a lot of people tend to not lie here. Like, most people in Alaska generally tell the truth. But anyway, psych wards, all of them are the same. All of them are abusive and all of them should be banned. Because I went into the psych ward with only 2 mental illnesses, depression and anxiety. And I came out with 2 eating disorders and 1 psychotic disorder. So if that doesn't speak volumes on how bad psych wards are for people, I don't know what will. And guess what? I'm not the only one traumatized by psych wards. Anyone who goes into a psych ward is at risk of becoming very traumatized by the time they go out. I am the more fortunate one. Keep that in mind. I only came out with 2, actually 3 disorders. Some people come out with full-blown CPTSD, which means complex PTSD. I'm not kidding. I've had friends who came in as a neurotypical person and that they were falsely admitted for something completely different, but then they came out with a full-blown PTSD diagnosis. If that doesn't say how bad psych wards are, I don't know what will. And if anyone wants to be interviewed by me about their experiences in a psych ward, feel free to contact me anywhere. I mainly respond to Discord DMs, so like you can contact me through my Discord server. I have a link in my bio that leads to all of my social media platforms. It's like a little website thing that has like multiple links, and you can find it very easily on there. I have thought about making my own website as well, but I don't know how to do that quite yet. I will probably someday to like sell merch and shit on it when I'm bigger as a influencer, you know, but I'm waiting until I'm bigger, which I know I'll get there within 2 or 3 years, possibly. That's like the estimate. I'm hoping I can make it. But psych wards are abusive. They literally take you from your home against your own will. What part of that is not abusive? And they also shame you for everything. They tell you every little thing you do is wrong. They still restrain people. In 2023, like, are you fucking kidding me? You do not hold down a mentally ill person against their will, no matter what. You do not do that unless they are trying to harm someone else. Like, that's the only circumstance I could possibly think of that would ever be okay to restrain someone. Like, you do not touch them unless they, number 1, say it's okay, or 2, are trying to harm someone else. Like, you do not touch someone without consent. Point blank, period. Like, you do not hold down someone just because they refuse to eat or that they self-harm. Like, you do not do that. It will just make things worse. Like, y'all have to be fucking idiots to work at a psych ward. Like, if you are working at a psych ward, that speaks to me about how bad of a person you truly are. Also, a lot of psych wards claim to care about their patients, but they never do. They never do. They never care. And they never will care. Even the qualified mental health professionals are actually not. They're not therapists. They don't have a degree in this field. All they are is people in scrubs. They're not even a legalized trained nurse. All they do is like, they don't even try to interact with you like a normal human being. All they do is like walk up to you, give you your meds, and take your vitals, and that's literally all they do. Like, it is so dehumanizing and degrading to be in that kind of environment. So as far as I'm aware, there's only one law passed in one state that makes it illegal to take someone from their home because of mental illnesses, like, against their own will, and that is California. California is the only state that has a law protecting kids from being forcefully taken away from their homes by these so-called professionals. So, like, yeah, California is the only state that has a law protecting mentally ill people from psych wards, which pisses me off. Every state should have a law like that. And I'm not going to stop advocating until there are laws passed that make psych wards completely illegal. I am not the only one who has been forcefully held down either. Literally every single person I know has had at least one or two experiences of being held down when they did absolutely nothing wrong. I have friends who were sexually assaulted in psych wards, and they were the ones that got in trouble for being sexually assaulted. And no, I'm not kidding. It's a real thing that happens in psych wards. You can look it up. You can literally look it up. Sorry, my camera's in my blanket. My iPad is. There have been so many instances of people being physically or sexually abused in psych wards. I am super fortunate compared to most people. Like, most people, they are neglected, they are physically abused, they are sexually abused, they are degraded, humiliated. I am very lucky that I only got very degraded and very humiliated there. And also, people have had their prized possessions taken away from them by psych wards. Like, psych wards, they claim to respect human rights, and yet they won't allow anybody to have the majority of their belongings because it's a safety hazard. Even though, like, I'm sorry, but how is, like, something like a hairband a safety hazard? Like, no one's gonna be able to, like, self-harm with a hairband. Like, look. It can't hurt me. Like, what part of a hairband can hurt someone? Yeah, it could leave, like, a little bit of a mark, but it can't harm someone to an extreme degree. Worst case scenarios, that makes your skin irritated, and that's it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, a hairband? Really? You're gonna ban hairbands, glasses? Dude, they didn't even allow me to have my cane in the psych ward. And I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with my cane? What the fuck am I gonna do with it? Am I gonna shove it up my own ass? Like, no. Like, the majority of disabled people, we don't use our mobility aids other than for their intended purposes. I use my cane for helping me to be able to walk around in public without running into walls and stuff. And also, if someone's getting too close to me, I will use my cane to keep them out of the way. Or to let them know, hey, I am legally blind, watch yourself around me, because I can't watch out for you. Like, are you a fucking idiot? Are you a fucking idiot? Like, for real, bro? So psych wards will not do shit. Like, they don't do shit for people. All they do is cause more trauma for people. And you know what's fucked up is that psych wards, they will essentially experiment on you like a fucking lab rat. What I mean by that is that they'll just feed you medications without considering any damage that it could be doing to your body. Like the psych ward I was at, they changed my medications once a week. I'm not kidding. They kept changing out my medications once a week. And they were like, oh, why is Star reacting so badly to the medications? Well, maybe it's because you kept fucking them up. And I honestly do blame them for some of my health issues I have now. Like, now I have difficulty moving my joints and stuff. I personally think it's because of some medications I took that did permanent damage on my body. Like, I started slowly experiencing chronic pain, but it never, like, became a problem. I think I was, like, a ticking time bomb And then the pandemic hit, and then that's when it started, like, finally fully affecting me. But when I came, like, going into the psych ward, very, 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 like, mild physical health problems, but the majority of them were easily manageable. By the time I got out, I started experiencing symptoms of memory loss. And then the older I got, the more rapidly worse the symptoms became. And now I am chronically ill. 6 years after I got out of the psych ward. Actually, 6 years? No, 4 years. I moved to Alaska in 2018, and I've never been in a psych ward ever since 2018. Actually, 2017, my bad. Last time I was in one was when I was 15, and now I am never going back to a psych ward. Like, people can try to rip me out of my house all they want, but I am not fucking going back to one, ever. But that's it for today's video. TLDR, I cannot speak. Psychiatric wards are abusive hellholes. Every single one of them are the same, and they should be banned. Like, they should be completely illegal. And if you guys can, please contact your local lawmakers to make psychiatric wards completely illegal. And I love you guys. And also, thank you for 600 subs. Wait, 600? How many do I have again? Oh my god. 600. Is it 600 or 550? Hold on, I forgot how many. I also had an announcement for them as subscribers I have, but like, I forgot. I forgot. Hold on. Okay. Thank you for 605 subscribers. Well, you can't see it, but thank you for 605 subscribers on YouTube. And also, don't forget to click this link in my bio for all of my social media links. And it will lead to links such as follow my Instagram, join my Discord server, follow my Twitch, follow me on Wattpad, although I very rarely ever write. Once in a while I do, such as, I'm still working on this, but follow me on Wattpad. Follow me on Kick Live. I don't stream on there very much, but once in a while I do. Twitter, my Twitter is 18 plus though, so don't follow if you're a minor. So I'm not calling it X until Elon Musk stops purposefully misgendering and dead naming his trans daughter. So Elon, if you're watching this, fuck you, you transphobe. And I'm not gonna call it Twitter until you I'm not gonna call it X until you start gendering and naming your daughter correctly and acknowledge her as your daughter, not your son. Also, I can't show the bottom of this for obvious reasons. But subscribe to my Patreon if you're able to afford it. I will show you the tiers. Actually, I'll just tell you about my Patreon real quick, since I can't find the button to show you the tiers. But I'm going to be updating prices. I'm going to lower prices to $5 a month, but for now it is $10 per month in order to get exclusive, not safe for work, uncensored artwork, not safe for work Vtuber models, not safe for work voice acting, regular art, sneak peeks of thumbnails of YouTube videos before they are released, sometimes early access content, Patreon exclusive short vlogs, basically kind of like the length of a Vine. If you don't know what Vine is, you're too young to be following me, probably. Also, like, early access to YouTube videos, and also exclusive pics. I'll give you guys one sneak peek of a exclusive pic as a little sorry, that was my little sister. But this is a exclusive picture on Patreon. But I'm going to be lowering the prices to see if that will probably get me more members. But if it doesn't, then I'll probably keep the prices the same. But I'm gonna lower it soon to $5 a month instead of $10 a month. And you might also get exclusive live streams on Patreon as well in the future, and also exclusive content creation updates as well. So yeah, become a member of my Patreon, or don't. Please don't give me money if you can't afford it. Please don't. I want you guys to still be able to live. You just being here right now, watching me, is enough for me. I just wanted to start this Patreon to hopefully have a safety net in case if I lose my disability benefits, which, yeah. And also I just want to make extra money in case if anything bad were to happen to me. And also so that way I could afford to do more expensive content, such as shopping hauls and stuff, and reviewing products. But all of that is going to be linked in the description of my videos. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Love ya. Bye, my starlings. Mwah.